Hey, welcome back to Cool Classics. Today we're going to take a look at the life and career of Donna Douglas, who played Elly May Clampett on the Beverly Hillbillies. She was born Doris Ione Smith, September 26, 1932, in Pride, Louisiana. I found some old clips and some really cool pictures, so stay tuned. Here we go. Donna grew up in the community of East Baton Rouge Parish, Louisiana. She has an older brother, and her parents were named Emmett and Elma Smith. Donna said that she was a very active child and considered somewhat of a tomboy because she always wanted to be outside playing with all the other kids. She would run and jump and dig in the dirt. She'd come in dirty and sweaty, and she didn't care. She loved every minute of it. She said that she also loved animals and would constantly bring home turtles and frogs, and if she found one, a little bird or a dog or a cat that needed fed, and that was considered part of her nature. And so when she played Elly May on the Beverly Hillbillies, Elly May was always, bringing home critters and taking care of them. And she said that was just something that she did herself. By the time she attended St. Gerard Catholic High School, her love for the outdoors had turned into a love for sports. This is where she started to play basketball, and she ended up being a star player on their softball team. If you look at the picture on the screen now, you'll see that she's in the top row, and if you start at the left, 1, 2, 3, 4 people over, and that's her. Now, something else happened to Donna while she was in high school. She fell in love with Roland John Burgess Jr., and upon graduating while still only 17, the two of them got married in 1949 and had a son together. The marriage lasted for 5 years until 1954. After the divorce, Donna fell into a little bit of a funk where all she did was take care of her son and didn't really have a direction to go in her life. But luckily, her friends were there to build her up and keep her positive and confident. And they'd tell her, "Oh my gosh, you're so pretty. You should try out for this or you should do that." And she always just kind of brushed it off. But 3 years later, in 1957, she went ahead and entered a beauty pageant. Lo and behold, Donna won. She got the title of Miss Baton Rouge. Now this excited her, so she went right ahead and entered the next pageant, this time winning the title of Miss New Orleans. Within a couple months span, she had both titles, newfound confidence, and she thought to herself, "I'm going to move to New York City." She knew that this was a very big decision, but she was not taking it lightly. She calculated it out and thought she has about 3 months worth of money saved. She can go up there and make a go of it. But moving as a small town country girl into the big New York City as a single mother trying to juggle life, a child, and possible career, it was going to be hard, and it was. Money was starting to dwindle down when she landed her first magazine advertisement, a toothpaste advertisement. She went in, posed with the toothpaste, and there you go. They liked her, they called her back, and she got more of those. But after a little while, she started to go on auditions, and this is when things really started to change for her. NBC hired Donna to appear on the Perry Como show as the Letters Girl. And then NBC had her start appearing on the Steve Allen show as the Billboard Girl. Now, I can't find any pictures or clips of this, but what I envision is a Vanna White type of character who goes up there like a Wheel of Fortune and turns the letters and stuff around. But these were her first appearances on television. In 1959, she started to appear on television as an actress for the first time. What you see above right now is her first appearance. It was a TV show called Tightrope, episode The Casino. She had a pretty big part, and from there she played in U.S. Marshal, the TV series, episode Trigger Happy, and 2 episodes of Bachelor Father, Kelly's Secret and Kelly's Idol. So there you go. 1959, she became an actress. In 1960, she appeared on the TV series Whirlybirds, episode 4 Little Indians. Then she got to be on The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, episode Painting the Sorority House.
Oh, hi, Donna.
Hi, Rick. Brought your records back.
Oh, thanks. Gee, I could have picked them up. I think you know my father. This is Donna. Don't get any paint on.
Oh, I won't. Hey, you're doing a beautiful job here.
Oh, thank you very much.
Well, hi there.
Oh, Mom, I think you know Donna. It's my mother.
Oh, hi, Donna. Hello, Mrs. Nelson. I was just telling Mr. Nelson what a beautiful job he's doing.
Well, this is kind of a family project. Rick and I do the painting, and Mrs. Nelson comes in from time to time with a friendly suggestion.
Oh, thanks a lot.
You know, this would be a lovely color for my room. I've been thinking of painting it.
It is a pretty color, isn't it?
Wish I had enough nerve to try it. I've never done any painting.
Well, aren't there any men around your house?
There better not be. She lives at the sorority.
That was pretty good. You know, it's pretty cool when someone gets to use their real name on a TV show. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does, yeah, I find it like a little bonus. So after Ozzie and Harriet, she started to appear on many more TV shows. This one's called Lock Up. She played Gloria Larkey. The episode is The Case of Dan Gray.
Oh, Miss Larkley.
Mr. Gill, are you sure
Miss Larkley, I've gone over every angle. I'm sorry, but there isn't a lawyer in the world who... Ask Mr. Maris. He's a lawyer. He'll tell you the same thing.
Are you a lawyer?
That's right.
Maybe you could help me.
See you later. Well,
It's about my fiancé. He's been arrested for murder.
first of all, let's... That's better. My name is Maris, Herb Maris. When that door opens again, we'll make a run for it, then you can tell me all about it.
Now, what happened next could be considered another big break for her, but she didn't know it at the time. She appeared in the Twilight Zone episode from 1960 called Eye of the Beholder. In this one, she is a normal-looking, well, in her case, a beautiful-looking woman, but she's living on a planet full of pig-faced people. So they consider her ugly and an outcast, and she considers herself ugly. So she's going through this experimental process to try and give her a pig face too. And if it works, she can be accepted into society. If not, she has to go live with the rest of the normal looking people in the society of outcasts, which she doesn't want to go. She thinks they're ugly too and scary. So yeah, this is a real deep one, and it's considered to this day one of the top 5 Twilight Zone episodes of all time. Now, after being the star of such a cultural, impactful episode of the Twilight Zone like that, she started getting offers to be on every TV show of the time. She was on The Detectives, Route 66, Thriller TV, Checkmate for 4 episodes, 77 Sunset Strip, The Aquanauts for a couple episodes, Surfside 6, Pete and Gladys. It just goes on. And then she appears on Mr. Ed for 3 episodes. And check this out. One of them had Clint Eastwood in it.
Hello, Mr. Darrow?
Mr. Eastwood, the reason I'm calling, we have a big feature coming up soon, and I thought you might be interested in the starring role.
Well, I could sure try and manage that, sir.
But you couldn't afford me, you cheap old windbag.
What did you say?
I didn't say anything.
But if you ever show your ugly puss on the set, I'll quit.
Who's on the other end of this line? Hello?
Darling, what's the matter?
Oh, hi, baby doll. I'm just having a little bit of a problem here, that's all.
Well, don't be mad at me. Sweetie, I miss you.
Listen, little girl, if you're smart, you'll cut this con artist off right now. He's been promising to marry my daughter for over a year.
Oh, that's awful.
Now that's my kind of comedy right there. So after the Mr. Ed appearance, she was on a couple more shows, but then she went in and auditioned for the part of Elly May Clampett on the Beverly Hillbillies. Now this was an open casting call, so over 500 women showed up to try out for the part. She says that this took multiple days. You would show up, stand in line for hours. They'd have you come in and read one line and then tell you, "Thank you, we'll give you a call." She said, luckily, I kept getting called back when a lot of girls weren't, because every time there were less and less of them. Eventually, it was down to just 5 of us. I was very nervous, but I wanted the part really bad. She said that on the final day they called her in and they asked her if her accent was natural. And she said, yes, it is. And she could tell that they were nodding their head, and then they wrote some stuff down and she thought, okay, this is good. And then they go, it says here that you're really good with animals. And she goes, oh, I love animals. And they go, well, how experienced are you? And she said, I've had lots of pets. And they go, well, have you ever milked a goat? And she said, in my mind, I was thinking, milked a cow. And I said, well, I have. And they go, okay. And they moved this thing out, and it was a goat behind there. She was like, I guess a cow wouldn't fit. And my head said yes, but I was thinking cow. But it's a goat now. So I walked over kind of nervous, and I just went ahead and did what I did with the cow, and it worked. And they thought it was great. After that, they had her walk back over in front of the producers, and the one said, I loved your part in the Twilight Zone. And she thought, oh, now this is really good. And it was. By the end of the day, they had decided Donna Douglas was going to play Elly May Clampett. Now, 1 week later, before she could even officially sign her contract, she was stopped at a red light when someone hit her from behind, causing her head to hit the steering wheel. She ended up in the hospital with a massive concussion. She couldn't sit up on the side of the bed. There was no way she could stand up. She was just constantly dizzy and nauseous. After about 2 weeks, she started worrying that they were going to give the part to one of the other 5 girls. So she went ahead and checked out of the hospital and told the producers that she was ready to go. She showed up for the first day of filming. She said that she was still spinning in her head when she filmed the first episode. She said it probably wasn't the smartest move, but there was no way she was going to give up this role that she worked so hard to get. Now, what is even cooler is that the very first episode of Beverly Hillbillies aired September 26th, 1962, which was her 30th birthday, and she was playing a 17-year-old.
Miss Hathaway, is all them your dog?
No, Mr. Clampett. They're yours.
Howdy, Pa. This year's all friends of Duke and me.
Well, doggies.
The show was a ratings success, lasting 9 seasons all the way till 1971, and Donna was receiving more fan mail than any other cast member, but Irene Ryan, who played Granny, was receiving the second most. Donna was so popular during this time period that Elvis Presley personally called her and asked her to star in his movie Frankie and Johnny, where she would play his girlfriend, and of course, she did. In 1971, Donna married Robert Leeds, and the two of them stayed together till 1980. She said that during this time period, she was definitely typecast in Hollywood. People would offer her a very small role or a walk-on part, but no one would hire her for a full-time cast member of a show. She said that over time, the only offers that she would receive were to be in a slasher film or something that she wasn't morally accepting of. So she decided to just sort of stay away from Hollywood, focus on her gospel singing career, and she also went and got her real estate license and eventually became a pretty successful realtor in the Hollywood area, selling a lot of houses for other famous movie stars. Over the years, Donna took part in many charities. She could be seen around the country raising money for various events that she felt worthy of the support. She also wrote children's books and spent a lot of time helping empower young women. And of course, she continued to sign autographs and take pictures with fans whenever asked. She would even show up at conventions and tell stories of what it was like on the set of the Beverly Hillbillies and a lot more behind-the-scenes things. She really got a kick out of it, and she loved her fans. But sadly, on January 1st, 2015, at the Baton Rouge General Hospital, Donna passed away at the age of 82 from pancreatic cancer. Wow, what a story, and a wonderful person she was, one of my all-time favorites. Now, I've made videos on Nancy Culp, which I think you'll really like, Irene Ryan, who played Granny, and Max Baer Jr., his story is phenomenal too. Check them out, please subscribe, hit like, share this video. I'll be back in the future. Cool classics.